You've spent your whole life giving, but who will be with you until the end? Life is a journey filled with love, sacrifice, and countless relationships. You've been a provider, a caregiver, a pillar of strength for your spouse, children, family, and friends. But as the years pass, one undeniable truth remains: the only person who will walk with you until the very end is you. This video explores the profound reality of aging, self-acceptance, and finding joy within. Inspired by Buddhist philosophy and mindfulness practices, we discuss how to embrace solitude, detach from expectations, and cultivate a meaningful, fulfilling life on your own terms. In the quiet hours of aging, when the world outside begins to slow and the past feels nearer than the future, a question often arises deep within our hearts: who will remain beside me until the very end? It's not a question of fear or bitterness, but a gentle curiosity, a reflection born from decades of living, giving, and loving. You have walked through life carrying many roles: a spouse, a parent, a friend, a provider. You have sacrificed sleep for your children, comfort for your family, and your own dreams for the dreams of others. And now, at this tender stage of life, you may begin to sense a subtle shift, a quiet realization that life, though shared with many, is ultimately a journey you walk alone. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that all things are impermanent: relationships, health, status, even our most cherished roles. This truth is not meant to sadden the heart, but to awaken it. The Buddha gently reminded his followers that clinging to what must change leads to suffering. But in letting go, in gently releasing our grip on what was, we discover a rare and powerful peace. It is in this space that we begin to truly meet ourselves. With mindfulness, we learn to sit with our thoughts, to observe the flow of life without resistance. With compassion, we learn to care for the person who has always been with us: ourselves. In this video, we will explore how to gracefully navigate this sacred chapter of life using the timeless guidance of Buddhist teachings. We'll reflect on the changing nature of relationships, the art of non-attachment, and the strength that blooms from solitude. You'll learn how to embrace your own company with joy, find fulfillment within, and walk the path of aging with dignity, self-love, and deep spiritual clarity. Let us begin with the first truth: why your spouse won't always be there. Cherish love, but don't lose yourself. In our culture, especially among those of us who have passed 60, marriage has often been seen as a lifelong bond, a sacred commitment to share not just a home, but a life. Many have walked hand in hand through the fires of hardship, raised children together, built homes from humble beginnings, and weathered the unpredictable storms of life. You may have shared simple joys: a morning walk, quiet meals, warm glances across the room, and these become the heartbeat of your days. Yet, no matter how deep the love, how long the years, one cannot deny the reality that either you or your partner will one day walk on alone. And that reality can be heartbreaking if we have unknowingly merged our entire identity with the presence of our spouse. While devotion is beautiful, we must be cautious not to disappear into it. Let me share a story, a real one from Ohio, that reflects this truth deeply. Mary and her husband Tom were married for 51 years. He was the steady one, the morning coffee maker, the silent protector. She handled the birthdays, the holidays, the countless invisible threads that held the home together. Together, they raised 3 children and shared decades of laughter and challenges. They had their rhythm, a gentle dance of familiarity and commitment. But 2 years ago, Tom passed away quietly in his sleep. Mary told her friends that she felt like the air had been pulled from the room. The stillness was deafening. For months, she couldn't sit at the kitchen table without weeping. Every corner of the house echoed with his absence. The bed was too big. The coffee didn't taste the same. Her days lost their structure. But in that silence, something unexpected began to unfold. Slowly, through the quiet practice of Buddhist meditation and mindfulness, Mary began to rediscover herself, not just as a wife, but as a woman with her own light. She started by sitting in the garden, observing the birds, listening to the wind. She began writing daily reflections, memories, thoughts, poems. She learned to sit in silence and befriend it. "I used to fear being alone," she said in one of her entries. "But now I see I am never really alone, I'm always with me." This transformation did not come overnight. It came with tears, with questions, with small acts of self-care. But gradually, Mary began to see that while the world she built with Tom had changed, the presence she had neglected for so long, her own, was still here, waiting for her. The Buddha spoke tenderly of the impermanence of all things. He reminded us that attachment, even to love, can lead to suffering when it blinds us to the truth of change. This does not mean we must stop loving, it means we must love wisely, with awareness and openness. True love, in the Buddhist sense, is not about possession or dependence. It is about deep respect, understanding, and the freedom to walk our own path even while we walk beside another. When you cherish your spouse with open hands rather than a tight grasp, you prepare your heart for life's inevitable shifts. You honor the love you shared, while still recognizing that your path is ultimately your own. You are not half of someone else, you are whole. And when you do this, you give yourself the gift of resilience, emotional clarity, and spiritual strength. Buddhist wisdom teaches us to live in the present moment, not clinging to the past, not fearing the future, but gently resting in the now. Through mindfulness, you begin to see that peace is not found in another person, but within your own heart. As you grow older, this realization becomes more important. The roles may change. The hands you held may no longer be there. But your breath remains. Your spirit remains. And your inner light, though once dimmed by the shadows of loss, can begin to glow again. So, if you are blessed to still walk this life with a beloved partner, hold them close, laugh with them, listen to their stories, be kind. But do not lose yourself in the process. Do not forget the person who has always been there, behind the scenes, supporting, loving, giving, yourself. Because in the end, the one companion who walks with you through every step of this journey, from birth until your final breath, is you. And when you begin to honor that truth, you do not walk into old age empty, you walk in full, whole, peaceful, and prepared. Let us now reflect on the second truth: why your children have their own lives. Let go of expectations and find your own happiness. For many parents, especially those in their later years, this realization can feel like both a gentle awakening and a deep wound. You spent decades nurturing your children, sacrificing sleep, comfort, and personal dreams to raise them well. You were there for their first steps, their school struggles, their heartbreaks and achievements. You held them when they cried, guided them through confusion, and celebrated their growth. Naturally, as you enter the later stages of life, it's easy to expect that they will now be there for you in the same way. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us, life flows forward. Children, no matter how deeply loved, are not possessions. They are beings with their own karmic paths, their own burdens to carry, their own lives to fulfill. Clinging to the idea that they must revolve around your needs will only bring sorrow. The Buddha taught that attachment, even to our most cherished relationships, leads to suffering when it becomes entangled with expectation. This does not mean we love our children any less. Rather, it means we must love them freely, with compassion that does not demand, and presence that does not control. As our children grow, they create families, careers, responsibilities that often leave little time or emotional space. This is not a rejection of you, it is simply the unfolding of their own journey. Instead of mourning their absence, use this time to reconnect with yourself. Ask yourself, what brings me joy outside of being a parent? What dreams did I once have that I can return to now? What peace can I find in solitude, now that the noise of duty has faded? In Buddhism, this stage of life is seen as a profound opportunity for inner growth. Freed from the constant giving to others, we are invited to turn inward and care for the one who gave all, ourselves. Mindfulness helps us see that our happiness need not depend on visits or phone calls, but can be found in a quiet morning, a favorite song, a peaceful walk, or the breath itself. When you let go of expectations, you open yourself to joy. You begin to see your children not as your lifeline, but as fellow travelers on the path of impermanence. Their love may still be there, but it may not always look the way you hoped. Accepting this allows your heart to soften, your mind to rest, and your spirit to grow calm. Instead of waiting for someone else to fill your time, you begin to fill it with things that nourish your soul. You are no longer chasing connection, you are becoming it. So let go, not in bitterness, but in wisdom. Let your children live, and live fully yourself. Because the most powerful gift you can offer the world at this stage is not guilt or dependence, but your quiet contentment, your peaceful example, your own happiness. Let us now gently explore the third truth: how friendships change. Appreciate them, but build inner strength. As we grow older, many of us notice that friendships, once vibrant and full of daily contact, begin to shift like the seasons. The bonds we built in youth or middle age, over shared workspaces, school gates, parenting routines, or community events, start to fade as people move away, face health issues, or turn inward to deal with their own aging and personal journeys. This natural distancing can feel like loss, and for some, even like betrayal. But Buddhism teaches that impermanence is the nature of all things. Just as the leaves fall in autumn, relationships too may wither, not from lack of love, but from the ever-turning wheel of life. Instead of mourning what used to be, the wise path is to appreciate those friendships for what they offered in their time: joy, comfort, companionship. And to understand that clinging to them as they were can only bring sorrow. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there is a touching story that many elders hold dear. It is the story of Pema, a 68-year-old woman from a small village near Lhasa. In her youth, Pema had a group of 3 close friends with whom she spent every season, gathering herbs, weaving blankets, meditating in the early morning stillness. They had laughed under the stars and supported one another through hardship. But over time, one friend married and moved far into the mountains, another became ill and withdrew into seclusion, and the third passed away quietly one winter. For a while, Pema felt abandoned by life itself. Her heart ached when she passed the places where they used to sit and share stories. But her teacher, an elderly monk, gave her a simple teaching: friendships are like lanterns in the night. They are never meant to burn forever, but to light your path when the road is darkest. Once they have shown you the way, it is time to walk forward, carrying the light within you. Deeply moved, Pema began to cultivate her own inner strength through meditation and retreat. She sat each day beneath a Bodhi tree near the monastery, reflecting on the gifts of each friend, not their absence, but their presence in her memories. She offered loving-kindness prayers for them, not to bring them back, but to wish them peace wherever they were. Over time, her sorrow softened into gratitude, and her loneliness transformed into spacious solitude. She began teaching younger women the art of compassion and letting go. Her life became a quiet beacon not built on social connection, but on spiritual presence. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom on friendship: we appreciate others, but do not lean on them so heavily that we fall when they are gone. It is natural to miss old friends and to feel the ache of fading closeness, but we must understand that true strength does not come from how many people surround us, it comes from how deeply we are anchored within ourselves. Mindfulness allows us to witness this shift with gentleness rather than resistance. When you accept that friendships will ebb and flow, you stop clinging to what was and begin embracing what is. You learn to sit with yourself in peace. The Buddha often spoke of the value of Kalyamattata, spiritual friendship. This does not mean constant companionship, but the kind of connection that uplifts your journey, even if only for a short while. Instead of searching for someone to fill the silence, become someone who is not afraid of it. Use this time to reconnect with your breath, your body, your heart. Revisit forgotten joys, start simple rituals that nourish you, and befriend yourself in a way no one else ever could. In this way, friendships are not lost, they evolve. And the love that once came from others now blooms from within. Appreciate the beautiful souls who walked beside you, and then gently return to your own path, more steady, more wise, and more peaceful than before. Let us now reflect on the fourth truth: how to find peace in solitude and joy within, the power of self-discovery. As we move through the later chapters of life, many of us find ourselves spending more time alone. The house grows quieter, the phone rings less often, and the once busy days slow down. This solitude can feel unfamiliar at first, even unsettling, but within it lies a profound opportunity, a gateway to rediscover who you truly are beyond your roles, relationships, and responsibilities. Buddhism teaches that the mind, when quieted and free from constant stimulation, becomes a mirror that reflects our deepest truths. The key is not to run from solitude but to gently enter it with mindfulness and intention. Begin by creating a peaceful space in your home where you can sit without distractions, a corner with soft light, perhaps a cushion or chair, and a symbol that inspires calm, such as a candle or simple image of the Buddha. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit in silence. Bring your attention to the breath, not controlling it, just observing it. Let the in-breath and out-breath be your anchor. As thoughts arise, do not resist them or follow them, simply watch them pass like clouds in the sky. Over time, this practice will calm the restless mind and open the heart to stillness. It is within this stillness that you will begin to hear the quiet wisdom of your own being. You may start to notice small joys, a bird outside your window, the softness of morning light, the warmth of your own breath. This is joy that arises not from outer things, but from a deep presence with life as it is. From this place, begin to ask yourself gentle questions. What brings me peace? What does my soul need now? What parts of me have I forgotten while caring for others? Journal your reflections, draw, sing, or simply sit. You are not trying to become someone else, you are returning to your original nature, your inner refuge. The Buddha taught that the true home is not found in a place or a person, but in awareness itself. When we learn to dwell in this awareness, solitude becomes sacred, not lonely. From here, you begin to realize that your value does not depend on being needed or noticed by others. You are enough, as you are, in this moment. The more you embrace your own company, the less you fear being alone. And when joy arises from within, it is unshakable, rooted in the peace of knowing yourself deeply and accepting yourself fully. This is the quiet power of self-discovery, and it is available to you now, exactly where you are. Now, we arrive at the fifth and final truth: Buddhist wisdom on detachment, contentment, and self-love. These three virtues form the foundation of emotional clarity and inner peace, especially in the later stages of life. In Buddhism, detachment does not mean becoming cold or uncaring, it means releasing the need to control what is not yours to hold, freeing the heart from the chains of expectation, and allowing things to be as they are without suffering over them. Begin practicing detachment by first observing your attachments gently, without judgment. Notice where your peace depends on someone else's actions, approval, or presence. Then ask yourself, what if I let go, just a little? Not in anger, but in trust. Letting go is an act of deep faith in life's natural flow. It invites calm where tension once lived. Alongside detachment comes contentment, a quiet satisfaction with what is. The Buddha taught that craving is the root of suffering. To want less is to suffer less. Each day, take a moment to reflect not on what is missing, but on what is already here: a roof over your head, a body that still breathes, moments of stillness, or the warmth of sunlight. Gratitude is the seed of contentment. When you stop chasing more, you begin to truly see what you already have. And finally, self-love, so often neglected as we age, is not vanity, but a form of spiritual care. It is treating yourself with the same compassion you so freely gave others for decades. Speak kindly to yourself. Rest when you need to. Nourish your body, honor your emotions, and forgive your past. Meditate not to fix yourself, but to sit with yourself as you are. Self-love grows when you stop measuring your worth by what you do or how others respond, and instead root your value in your being. Through mindfulness, you learn to sit with your thoughts, embrace your imperfections, and rest in your own presence. To deepen this transformation, Buddhist meditation offers a powerful path. One especially effective practice is metta bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation. It begins by cultivating a sincere feeling of love and compassion toward yourself. Find a quiet place and sit comfortably, with your spine upright and your hands resting gently in your lap. Close your eyes and begin by taking a few slow, deep breaths. Let your body soften with each exhale. Now silently repeat these words, or words like them, directed toward yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering. Say them slowly, with sincerity. If resistance or discomfort arises, don't push it away, just observe it and continue. After a few minutes, imagine someone you love, perhaps a family member or friend, and send them the same phrases. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. Then, if you feel ready, extend this loving kindness to others, acquaintances, strangers, even those with whom you've had difficulty. Over time, this simple practice softens the heart and nurtures the seeds of detachment, contentment, and self-love. It reminds you that peace is not found by changing your outer world, but by opening your inner one. Meditation is not a task, it is a return to your natural state of awareness, stillness, and compassion. When practiced daily, even for just 10 minutes, it rewires the mind to choose presence over worry, love over judgment, and simplicity over craving. This is how you nourish the soul in old age, not by holding on tighter, but by opening more fully. This is the wisdom of the Buddha, and it remains timeless, practical, and deeply healing. As we come to the close of this reflection, it is important to gently bring our attention to the heart of what has been shared throughout this journey, a journey through the realities and profound truths of aging with grace, embracing solitude, and discovering the limitless wellspring of peace within ourselves. We have explored together the bittersweet reality that, as life unfolds, spouses may not always be there, children must live their own lives, and friendships inevitably change. These truths, while difficult, are not reasons for despair but invitations to awaken to the deeper nature of life itself, a nature that is impermanent, ever-changing, and yet filled with opportunities for growth, clarity, and peace. The Buddha's teachings remind us that true happiness does not come from clinging tightly to people or circumstances, but from cultivating a heart that is open, mindful, and free from attachment. We have seen how detachment is not about becoming distant or uncaring, but about releasing the grip of expectation and finding contentment in what is here and now. Contentment itself is a quiet, steady flame that burns within when we learn to appreciate the simple blessings of life. Our breath, our presence, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, and the ability to observe the moment without judgment. Alongside this, we have touched on the vital importance of self-love, not as selfishness, but as the compassionate care we owe ourselves after decades of giving so much to others. Self-love means honoring our emotions, forgiving our past, and speaking kindly to ourselves as we would to a beloved friend. Through mindful meditation and practices like loving kindness, we nurture this gentle relationship with ourselves, transforming loneliness into peaceful solitude, and fear into acceptance. It is a reminder that while the outer world changes, the sanctuary within remains accessible to all who seek it. The Buddha's path offers practical tools, not just lofty ideals, tools that guide us to rest deeply in presence and to meet each moment with calm observation rather than resistance. By embracing these teachings, we build resilience and emotional clarity that no external loss can take away. Now, as we gently turn toward the close of this video, I invite you to pause and ask yourself two simple but powerful questions that can serve as a compass for your own journey. What have you done for yourself lately? And are you ready to build a life that is full, even when you're alone? These questions are not meant to cause guilt or pressure but to open a space for honest reflection. They encourage us to consider the ways we nurture our own well-being, how we cultivate peace, joy, and meaning independent of others, and how we prepare our hearts for the natural seasons of life. Perhaps you have already taken small steps toward this inner fulfillment, Or maybe this is the first time you are truly reflecting on what it means to live fully with yourself. Wherever you are on this path, your experience matters deeply, not only to you but to the community of others who walk similar roads. If this video has touched your heart or sparked a new awareness, I warmly encourage you to share your story or your thoughts in the comments below. How have you faced the realities of love, loss, and solitude? What practices or wisdom have helped you find peace? Your words can become a beacon of hope and understanding for others who may be feeling isolated or uncertain. Engaging in this dialogue enriches all of us, creating a gentle network of compassion and support. Remember, your voice holds value, and your journey matters. Finally, if you found this reflection meaningful and helpful, please consider subscribing to Mindful Pathway Media and sharing this video with those who might benefit from its message. By doing so, you help build a community centered on kindness, mindfulness, and spiritual growth, a place where we can all learn to age with grace, embrace our solitude, and live with the peaceful clarity that comes from walking the Buddhist path. Together, let us nurture a sanctuary of calm in a busy world, supporting each other with respect and gentle wisdom. May you move forward with courage, self-compassion, and the deep peace that arises when you truly come home to yourself.